of the privileges or perhaps duties of musicians is to act as emissaries between the worlds of inspiration and practicality. And lest I forsake my duties thereof, I'm going to speak to an aspect of life that I really like, and it's called growth. Growth is a metaphysical term because it is outside the physical. Human beings, once we usually reach a certain height in adulthood, we stop growing physically. You can grow muscle, you can build muscle, or you can grow your belly or other parts of your body. So you can grow wider, but not taller necessarily. But the metaphysical aspect of growth, how do we measure it? It's less tangible, but you have to measure the business term is key performance indicators. And they're not always quantifiable. There's both quantifiable and qualifiable metrics that you can measure your personal growth. In order to measure your personal growth, you have to take an inventory where you are in life. You have to measure your satisfaction levels in various aspects. You can break this down to 12 or more categories if you want, or you can simplify it into self, relationships, and work. So let's go the simple route for now. Self, relationships, and worth as far as satisfaction goes. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you now? Okay, you have to be honest. 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, or 0 being the lowest, really. It might help to, if you have somebody close to you that you trust as a clear mirror to mirror your state back to you. If you're having trouble, then that's a good route to take. So after you take stock of this inventory in however many categories you want, start with 3, it's easier. Start to brainstorm, get the energy going, get the juices flowing, go on a walk, move your body a little bit. Relax, don't push this. Start to brainstorm where you want to be. There are positive goals and there are negative goals, and even negative goals are positive because a negative goal precipitates a positive side. What do I mean by that? Okay, so your goal could be, if we're talking about health, your goal could be lose 20 pounds. That's kind of a negative goal. Like, I'm overweight, I don't like my body, and I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, that's a negative goal. So flip it, what's the positive goal? What do I need to do to get there? Well, of course, consult a health professional, but the common knowledge is to exercise and eat better. All right, reduce your calories, burn more calories, exercise, and eat better. That's the common knowledge. So that's the positive goal from the negative goal. So even if you have a handful of problems, every problem has a solution. You might not know what it is, and that's where this process requires some chutzpah. It requires some fire. You have to get mad at it. Mad enough to take action. Mad enough to do the research, to ask the people that you know that have accomplished this goal, how did you do it? Mad enough to go on Wikipedia on your phone and Google the topic that you want to learn about. You have to educate yourself. And this is, I think, where a lot of people fall short because they think, oh, well, that's too hard. Well, that's your choice then. This is a fair playing field, but the rules don't change. You have to ask yourself, if you continue on the path that you're on, where are you going to be later on in your life? Where are you going to be in 5 years if you continue on the path that you're on? It's a hard question, but it is necessary for growth. If that's what you're into. I really like growth. I don't see, for me at least in this time in my life, I see it as the most positive use of my time. And my existence really is growth. Why am I on this earth? I think it's to grow. As a human being, as a spiritual being, as a spirit in a body, as a body with a spirit, it's the same thing. As a person, to develop personally. I don't think that anybody's perfect. I think that we all have flaws. I think that it is harmful and practically unproductive to be hard on yourself and to judge yourself for your own shortcomings. I think that it's natural to do so, but it needs to be balanced with practical stoicism in the fact that if you're on a growth path, if you're hard on yourself, you need to look at whether or not that's helping you. Is it helping me to achieve my goals? Is it helping me to grow as a person, being hard on myself? To be hard on these people that are parking in the left lane on the highway. That is a problem. This is Mississippi, y'all. Mississippi drivers, contrary to the popular belief, I think, especially on I-55 South, are some of the best drivers because they tend to be very respectful of the pass on the left lane, park on the right lane. Not physically park, but you know what I mean, like drive slow. Okay, yeah, there we go. And he's out of the left lane. That was very respectful. For some reason, that just always happens on I-55 South. I don't know why. I love this route because from Memphis to Jackson, or Ridgeland, which is a little bit north of Jackson, it's just a straight shot. I have to make like 5 turns to get to my first gig in the morning. So with regards to personal growth, if that is your path, look at how much self-judgment is helping you and hampering you. You might need an outside reflection on this one. I can share an example from my own life and why moderation in implementing change is the path that I usually prefer. I'm a daydreamer. I like it. It's indicative of my creative side, a product, or perhaps a catalyst of my creative side. But I'm also a business owner, and I'm working on growing that business. And that requires a completely different skill set than to be a creative. And it's really interesting. And I'm super grateful that I'm able to exercise both skill sets. But here's an example of how I have learned and I've wanted and judged myself for something that I've been doing and what I'm working on right now. And musicians, if you're listening to this, plug your ears because you're probably not like me in this regard. I've been waking up at 5:45 a.m. Now, a lot of musicians like to sleep in, and that's totally understandable, especially if you're playing late night bar gigs. So I've been waking up at 5:45 a.m. Why? Because I have some business to take care of, and my work day has been starting at 9 a.m. Also, I've been working on keeping myself healthy. The past 3 days, I've been able to wake up at 5:45 a.m. and exercise. Sometimes hard, sometimes light. The reason that that's important to me and that's a huge win is because in the early hours of the morning, I daydream and sleep in, and my mind just drifts. And so, a lot of the times, I'll wake up later than I want to. Don't get to the time to exercise. Don't get the time to plan my day and get things in order before I start my day, and am inundated with calls and emails and texts and things that I need to work on for the business, like invoices and billing and booking and planning and working with my awesome VA. So this has been a big win for me. However, I've noticed I'm not getting as much sleep as I used to. I mean, it makes sense, like wake up at 5:45. One would think that I would want to go to bed early, but I'm just not in the habit of doing that yet, going to bed early. I'm still staying up as late as I usually stay up, which is like 11 to 12. So I'm getting less sleep than I usually get. And I'm noticing that my body is responding. And it's like, whoa, dude, what are we doing? You need to rest a little bit. And I think that my immune system might be slightly affected. It could just be the weather, but it's probably a combination of both. So I'm going to temper it. I'm going to make sure that I rest, especially tomorrow. I'm might even sleep in a little bit, although I do want to get a good workout before I start my day, because it's another work day for me tomorrow. Certainly Saturday I'll be sleeping in, and that's going to be luxurious. That's an example of what I'm talking about with the growth path. Because the thing that I wanted to do, wake up early and get my exercise in, it was born from a negative experience. The negative experience is I don't like the feeling when I sleep in and don't get exercise, and I hit my day unprepared. I don't like that feeling. So I'm going to get prepared. And one thing that I'm learning is that it's useful for me to be easy on myself, especially when implementing something new, because this has had the result of me getting less sleep and being more tired, and my body is more tired too because I've been working out more in the morning. So it's a different dynamic, but I'm super happy about it. I'm super happy about it because it's given me the clarity that I want. I've stopped the daydreaming in the morning when it's not practical for me to do so. And in fact, it's detrimental to the flow of my workday and the goals that I have with my business. Detrimental. And I stopped myself from doing it this morning too. I just popped right out of bed, had my coffee. That's a huge win for me. That's a huge win. You might have something that you're working on that you want to stop, like a negative habit. Try to take it in baby steps. Look at what the negative consequence of it 5 years down the road might be. And live with that. If not, look at the negative habit in the short term and find the positive goal. What's the positive goal? Okay, if you want to quit smoking, positive goal is to quit smoking, or maybe to cut down. I don't know what it's like to do that. I don't know if cold turkey is the best way to do that, but if I didn't know and I was trying to do that, then I would ask people that have successfully done it, do a little bit of research. And that is the barrier of entry to accomplishing anything, is the knowledge. And then you need the chutzpah, you need the fire, you need the passion that puts you over the edge. And that can be anger, you can be mad at yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself though if it is antithetical to the goal that you're trying to achieve. That's my inspiration for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I've certainly enjoyed sharing my growth. I'm proud of where I am, and I'm excited for the future. Let's go.